Hello everyone, this is Coolectables coming at you with another video, and today I'd like to talk about my 1-month ownership of the Submariner Starbucks. For those of you that don't know, I only waited a few months and I picked up this Submariner from the authorized dealer, and I'd like to give my honest feedback about the Submariner, and especially the green bezel variant, which is this one, and kind of give you my thoughts and whether I regret selling my Pepsi in order to pick this up at the AD. And so regarding that Pepsi, that was my first Rolex that I've ever owned. I bought the Pepsi on the gray market and on Jubilee. It was a blast. I wore it for almost 2 years and enjoyed almost every second of it. However, I did kind of grow old of the busy bezel, the extra hand kind of interfering with my visibility. I also have a very similar type of watch in the Tudor Black Bay, the Blue Lagoon, that also kind of has a Jubilee styled bracelet. So when I got the call for this, I was very excited, and I figured I would sell the Pepsi and kind of build my relationship with my AD and enjoy the Submariner. So as far as how it compares to the Rolex Pepsi, it is very, very different. I always thought YouTubers were kind of dramatic when they compared the differences between the Rolex on Jubilee and the Submariner. However, the GMT Master 2 and the Submariner, especially with different bracelet styles, is significantly different. The brushed styling of the Submariner is very different from the kind of shiny, very flashy Jubilee bracelet. It shows almost no scratches, even after a month of almost daily wear, playing with dogs, playing with young children, swimming with it. I've not really babied it. I've definitely been careful with it and respectful of it, but I have not babied it. I've worn it, pretty much every day. So the fact that it has very little scratching, if any, maybe tiny hairlines, versus my Pepsi, which on the high polish sections had a lot of scratching. The brush feel, it's a big difference. It definitely looks more pristine. It looks more rugged. It's definitely less flare, but it is, it's solid. It's definitely more of a sports watch, while at the same time still being kind of flashy, especially around the case of the Submariner. You still kind of get that shine and glamour that plays with the light, and it bounces back at you. So it's definitely still a large, flashy watch, but slightly less, I guess, than the GMT Master 2, especially on the Jubilee bracelet. The dive bezel, it's everything I ever wanted. It's actually 10 times better than I thought it'd be. I love playing with it. I love hearing the sound that it makes. It's just a great feedback, great action for a bezel, and it's great timing stuff as opposed to the GMT Master 2, where I barely used the bezel at all. As far as visibility, that was another huge goal of mine. The visibility on the Pepsi was actually more difficult for me than people I'd heard on reviews. Whereas the Submariner, the hour markers are huge, the dial's huge, so visibility is definitely a lot higher on the Submariner. As far as the thinness of the watch, I will say one of my critiques of the Submariner is it is a chunky watch. It takes up a large part of this wrist. And I think it can still go on a ton of sizes of wrists, and it is elegant. But I definitely wouldn't try wearing this with a suit. You could if it's your only watch. I still think it far outweighs and beats an Apple Watch or some sort of smartwatch. However, it does lack a little bit of that kind of classy, formal look. Not that the GMT Master 2 was that much more formal, but it definitely, the edge goes to that in terms of elegance. Whereas the Submariner is more your tool watch, your kind of manly man's large watch. And some women enjoy wearing Submariners as well. They're kind of getting more into the bigger, chunkier watches. So overall, how do I rate the Submariner? I rate it fantastic. I've enjoyed it. It's durable. It definitely feels sturdier than my GMT Master 2, especially when that was on Jubilee versus this kind of on the normal oyster steel. It just feels solid. It feels more solid. It feels improved from my GMT Master 2, and I've really enjoyed it. I think the negatives, besides what I've already said, are that the Submariner maybe lacks a little bit of that kind of pizzazz, that flair that the GMT Master 2 had, especially the Pepsi and especially on Jubilee. It's a different feel when you walk into a room wearing that than when you walk in wearing the Submariner, which is closer to an entry-level Rolex watch. It's definitely not entry-level watch, but it's, you know, on that more entry-level kind of what you could get from an AD quicker level. So it lacks some of that flair, but I think it holds its own. I think it's more useful, especially for my lifestyle with dogs, kids, sports. Randomly, I'll have to play basketball in the street while holding a bicycle helmet. Like, you know, you never know what your day's gonna end with younger kids. So it's nice having the versatility of that I can kind of sweat through it and scratch it up, and it doesn't look, you know, beat to hell. So, and at the same time, it's still kind of a cool, you know, status symbol, jewelry piece, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely more functional than just a beater. So yeah, I love the Submariner. It's definitely not the perfect watch, I wouldn't say, at least not for me. But I think in like a 3-watch collection, it's certainly holds its own. And I would definitely take it over the GMT Master 2. I'd take it over like a chronograph, like an Omega or something. And yeah, I'm loving every second of it. Not looking to move on anytime soon. But do I see it lasting forever? I don't know. Maybe some variant of it. I'm not sure. I will also say the bezel, the green color, I've grown to like that a lot more than I thought I would. I kind of always wanted like Rolex to make like a teal kind of Tiffany blue bezel, or even the dial. And even with this Submariner, I always thought I'd like the Hulk a lot more than this one, but seeing the green just hit the light and kind of throughout the day-to-day, it's definitely a lot more flashy than I thought it would be, in a good way. The color pops, and it's just something I'm looking for. I was never really looking for like an all-black Rolex Submariner. I just didn't think that suited kind of my wardrobe, my style, everything. I tend to wear kind of flashier watches and then toned down outfits. But I could see if you're wearing kind of flashier outfits, the all, you know, just black dial, black bezel goes with everything. Don't even have to think about it. I understand the allure of that, but the green is just, I don't know, kind of a little something extra. So in conclusion, like I've already said, yeah, love the Rolex Submariner. I definitely think it's worth the entry point for what you get and how it retains the value. If you're going to go on the gray market, it's not that much more to go on the gray market than it was to buy it at retail. So I also think you're getting kind of a better value there than the Rolex GMT Master 2. However, if you're looking for something that more people are going to notice, or kind of, I don't know if respect is the right word, but just, you know, kind of be like, okay, I see you. Then yeah, maybe it's not the right one. It's more kind of in that entry-level Rolex type of watch. So thank you. This was the review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could please drop a like and let me know what you think about the Rolex Pepsi, I'd really appreciate that. And make sure you subscribe for more content like this. Thank you all, and have a great night, and good luck collecting.